Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Boom Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode on the podcast, The Millionaire Hippie. I am the Millionaire Hippie, Boom Shikha, and I'm so excited that you're joining me for yet another episode. I hope that you've checked out my other episodes, and I hope that you gained some value out of my thoughts and all of the stuff that I'm sharing with you. Now, recently I've mentioned that I've moved to Chiang Mai, and I'm just living life here, trying a lot of different things, changing up the way I do things. And every few days I'll just be in awe of the fact that I'm in Chiang Mai. I'm sitting here in a cafe in a random part of the city, in the old city, surrounded by a moat, and I'm surrounded by people who don't understand what I'm saying to them a lot of times, and I'm eating all these different foods. I'm living in a completely different apartment. I'm living a completely different life. I'm doing all of these things that I did not do back home in Toronto. And so I feel like I'm a completely different individual right now. And I don't necessarily mean that if you looked at me from maybe a year ago that you'd think I was any different. Maybe you would. I am happier, and so people do say that I seem happier. I'm smiling a lot more. But even notwithstanding that, if you just looked inside of me, if you could cut me open and look into my heart, or look into my brain, or look into my soul, my spirit, you would notice that there are all these crisscross marks of new things I've done, all of these things that I've done that I've stepped out of my comfort zone for that were not there before. There are all of these marks on my soul and my spirit and my body, my mind, my heart that were not there before. And so I've been trying a lot of different things. Some of the things I'll mention are, I've been doing a watercolor workshop. I do improv every week. I've been tutoring students from Burma. I've been, oh my God, I can't even think of some stuff that I've been doing. There's so much. I've been doing a lot of creative writing workshops. I've taken part in the NaNoWriMo, which is a National Novel Writing Month, where you write 1667 words a day to complete a novel in a month of a length of 50,000 words, which is the average size of a novel. I've been actually running my own workshop based on The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and that's something that I would never have done in the past. It was just a fluke. Everyone was asking me about it, and there was a need for it, and I decided to fill the need, even though I did not have any experience with it. I had read the book several times, and I knew what the basic tenet was of what it was. And I realized, as I realized with a lot of different things this year, is that even if I know a little bit more than the people that I'm teaching or the people that are my clients, then I am in a position to teach them. You don't need vast amounts of knowledge better than the people you're teaching. You just need a little bit more knowledge. And a lot of it is just conversation. A lot of it is actually learning while you go through the workshop, learning while you actually perform the task. And you cannot learn everything before you start a task. There's no way. It's actually a waste of your time if you try to do that. So I've actually been a big proponent this year of learning on the job. So I start doing something and I just learn while I'm doing it. I've also started taking voice lessons. I'm doing singing, which is really, really intense for me because I'm not really used to using my voice that way. I am afraid to use my voice. I don't trust it. And so that's been a really interesting experience for me. I've been learning from this beautiful teacher called Art at Santi Music School near Niman. And he's absolutely amazing. This tiny little man who has a voice that is so powerful. You can't even imagine that he's the one singing. I mean, it's awesome. And so I've been learning a lot about my voice. I've been learning a lot about creativity, about writing, about my body. I've been doing a lot of dance mandala, which is a movement dance meditation. Obviously doing my yoga. And it's just been a really, really intense experience of stepping constantly out of my comfort zone. And so it's actually been really interesting because I realized that I actually don't know anymore where my comfort zone lies. Just a couple of days ago, I went to an audition for a for the eight reindeer monologues, and it's a theater play. And I've never auditioned for a play before, but I decided to do it because I'm trying new things out. And I realized that maybe that is obviously stepping out of my comfort zone for sure, but even then, I mean, I was scared and, my heart was beating really fast, but even then, the amount of fear that I had inside of me was not equal to the amount of fear I had when I first stepped out of my comfort zone really this year, which is when I quit my job and started my business, my online business. And at that point, now after doing that, I feel like a lot of these little tasks, like taking a voice lesson or doing a watercolor workshop or running a workshop or going to an audition, all of them seem minuscule in comparison. They just don't have the same magnitude of fear for me because I've already done the big thing. I've already taken that big step. I've already moved to Chiang Mai. I've already started my own business. I've already quit my job. I've already done all those big things. I've already spoken to my parents about moving to Chiang Mai. I mean, all of those things that are really, really tough, I've done them. And so all of these little piddly things, I really think of them as that, they don't seem as big to me anymore. But that's because my comfort zone has been stretched a lot this year. It has been stretched not only to its limits, but beyond, far beyond its limits, so that, like I said, I don't even know where my comfort zone lies anymore. I feel like my comfort zone area is so huge that there's very few things that it does not encompass. And so that's a really interesting experience for me because a lot of different things that I would have been really fearful of and I would never, ever have tried before are things that I'm doing casually on a weekly basis now. I mean, for example, improv. I mean, putting myself out there in front of a crowd of people and acting out a random scene that I haven't practiced before, I haven't rehearsed. I mean, that is the thing of nightmares for me, was the thing of nightmares for me, the old Shikha. But now I'm actually doing it on a weekly basis and there are no heart palpitations, actually excitement instead of fear. I am excited to go out there. I want to go out on stage. I want to perform. I'm the first one to say, yes, please, me, I want to go first. And so it's a completely different turnaround. I mean, it's a 180-degree turnaround for me. And that's only because I've been, like I said, I've been trying so many different things and I've been stretching the limits of my comfort zone. So think of your comfort zone like a round circle around you. Some people's comfort zone is very tiny, it's very small, and so they are extremely afraid of a lot of different things. And I was that person when I was younger, when I was in my teens. I was afraid of everything. I mean, you name it, and I was afraid of it. I was afraid of being naked. I was afraid of showering. I was afraid of the bathroom. I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of eating in public. I was afraid of dancing in public. I was afraid of public speaking. I mean, you name it, and I had that fear, right? So in that regard, at that point, my comfort zone was tiny, and it was suffocating. It was so tiny, I could not breathe inside of it because I was not able to do anything with that limited comfort zone. Right now, my comfort zone is so vast that I am so free and so open, and I feel like I can stretch out my wings and I can do whatever I want. And I feel so alive right now. And so that's actually one of the best benefits of stretching out your comfort zone is that not only do you become a bigger, bolder, braver person, you become this individual that you look at, you're like, I don't even know who I am anymore. That's what I say to myself every single day. I can't even imagine who I have become. I have become this person, obviously, and I am doing these things, but I look at myself in the mirror sometimes, and this person is staring back at me. The face looks exactly the same, but the deep inside soul looks completely different. She's so big, she's so bold, she's so alive, and she's so amazing. And I'm so grateful to be who I am right now. I've always loved myself as much as possible, but now I love myself to a limit, beyond limits, in a limitless way. And I'm loving everything what I'm doing, everything that I am, everything that I've been stretching out my comfort zone with, and it's just been an intense and amazing journey, and I've just been loving it. But constantly, every single day, I am constantly asking myself, what else can I do to stretch my comfort zone? Because obviously, we need to keep on stepping out of our limits every single day, because you're going to get used to it. I mean, I'm getting used to improv. Eventually, it won't be anything to me. I'm getting obviously used to voice lessons and all that. The audition was definitely a task that really did bring up a lot of fear for me. So that was a really good thing. I'm glad I tried it. But constantly, as we get used to all of these different tasks, we have to ask ourselves, how can I keep on challenging myself? How can I keep on growing? How can I keep on expanding my soul and spirit so that it's not suffocated in that tiny little box that I've created for myself in my head, that little comfort zone, that little tiny box that's just so suffocating. I lived in that box for the longest time, and I can tell you that it was not fun. Not only was I not able to do a lot of the different things that I wanted to do them so badly inside of myself. Like, I wanted to go and dance in public. I love to dance, but I was so afraid. I had created these limits for myself just based on fear, just based on mindless, I don't know what. And so I lived in that tiny box, and it was just a horrible way to live, and I would never ever want to go back there, ever. And that's the reason I'm doing this. I'm always pushing myself right now so that I become bigger and better and bolder and braver and brighter and brighter. So I hope that this helps you. It's just my little diatribe on comfort zones and what I've been doing, hopefully to give you a little bit of inspiration to try this on your own. Again, my name is Boom Shikha, and this is the Millionaire Hippie Podcast. If you're interested, you can join my free Facebook group, the Millionaire Hippie Club. If not, I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.